Hi, I'm Lola. Today I'm gonna take you to a journey of how was I born? Not only me, but all of us, as well as you. Before that, you should watch the reproductive system video first. So let me tell you, how shall we proceed? I will narrate my entire story, and meanwhile I'll come up with some new terms and process that I'll discuss. Oh yeah. Let's start our journey. And we gonna cover the entire story within 9 simple steps. So when my mom and dad first met in the park, they fell in love with each other. Soon after that they started spending time with each other, loved each other, and yes, my mom was a good kisser, guess better than my dad. Haha. And after 4 years of healthy relationship, my mom and dad got married. That was really a pleasing day, although I didn't saw that. So now let's start with the first step of birth, that is intercourse. Well, this is what something adults do. It is the process of inserting the man's penis into the woman's vagina for sexual pleasure. Further result of this can cause pregnancy to a woman. During sexual intercourse, the erect male penis enters the female vagina. This is called copulation. Simply I can say that my mom and dad had sex, and please remember, this is only for educational purpose. Step 2 is ejaculation. The male penis deposits semen into the female vagina through ejaculation. Semen is a white semi-solid liquid containing millions of sperms. Hey, you already learned that in the reproductive system video, didn't you? There can be millions of sperm cells in one ejaculation, but only one will be able to penetrate the outer membrane of the ovum. Further detail of this is coming next. Step 3 is traveling of sperm. I think you should have a look at the parts of female reproductive system. Oviduct, uterus, ovary, cervix, and vagina. Again, watch the reproductive system video to get the detail of the female reproductive system. Why out of millions of sperms only a single sperm hit the ovum? Good question. Millions of sperms present in the semen enter the vagina. Now the vagina is open to the exterior, and thus to infection. That's why it is well equipped with antimicrobial defenses. The first line of defense is the acidic environment of the vagina, which can damage sperm, as well as infectious microscopic organisms. Next, the sperms may stick to the cervical fluid, also known as cervical mucus, which doesn't let the sperms to move further. Another defense can be the outer covering of the ovum, which doesn't let several sperms to attack it, but one. Wow. The last point may certainly ring your bells. After ejaculation into the vagina, the sperm swim into the cervix, and through the uterus to the oviducts. Once inside the oviducts, the sperm swim further, to meet the mature egg that was released from the ovaries, and is now traveling towards the uterus. Take a notebook and a pen and note down these 2 points, and then refer to the female reproductive system. You will surely able to get something. Step 4 is fertilization. Only one sperm cell burrows into the surface of the ovum. Yes, we know that. Only the sperm's head enters, the tail stays outside. As soon as one has penetrated the outer layer, the surface of the ovum changes, and no more sperm will be allowed to enter. This process is called fertilization, and it takes place in the outer part of the oviduct, and not in the uterus or vagina. Next, when a sperm cell penetrates and fertilizes an egg, that genetic information combines. The 23 chromosomes from the sperm pair with 23 chromosomes in the egg, forming a 46 chromosome cell called a zygote. The zygote starts to divide and multiply. More about chromosomes is available in the chromosome video. This is a picture of the zygote, and if there's any doubt in your head, then yes, we all were a zygote in our mom's body. Step 5 is implantation. A fertilized egg or zygote takes about 5 days to reach the uterus from the uterine tube. As it moves, the zygote divides and develops into a blastocyst, with an inner mass of cells with a protective outer ring. The blastocyst attaches to the wall of the uterus, and gradually implants itself into the uterine lining. The fertilized egg is now called an embryo, and undergoes cell division over and over again. This forms a cluster of cells, with the different cells differentiating to become the specialized cells, tissues, and organs that make up the human body. Where the embryo implants into the spongy, blood vessel-rich lining of the uterus, some of the cluster of cells that formed after fertilization form the placenta.
The placenta is partly formed by the mother and partly by the embryo. The embryo develops an umbilical cord to attach itself to the placenta. The embryo can receive food and oxygen and remove its waste through the umbilical cord and placenta.
This is the picture of the uterus. You can see the umbilical cord, placenta, and the cervix. So step by step we reached step 6, development of the fetus. 15 days after conception marks the beginning of the embryonic period. The embryo contains a flat embryonic disc that now differentiates into 3 layers: the endoderm, the mesoderm, and the ectoderm. All organs of the human body are derived from these 3 tissues. They begin to curve and fold, and form an oblong body. By week 4, the embryo has a distinct head and tail, and a beating heart. Over the next 6 weeks, limbs, eyes, brain regions, and vertebrae forms. Primitive versions of all body systems appear. Finally, by the end of week 10, the embryo is a fetus. Step 7, the last stage. From week 10 of pregnancy, the fetus grows inside the uterus, fueled by nutrient-rich blood supplied by the umbilical cord. The placenta provides oxygen and nutrients to the fetus, and removes waste products from the fetus's blood. Bones, muscles, skin, and connective tissues forms. Body systems develop. Limbs and facial features take shape. Till now my stay in mom's uterus was great. Now it's time for me to come out of it and see the world. So the step 8 is birth. Around week 36, usually, the process of pregnancy begins. In the first stage, dilation hormones stimulate downward contractions of the uterine walls. The contractions push the head of the fetus against the cervix, at the lower end of the uterus. As a result, the cervix dilates. In the second stage, expulsion, powerful contractions push the head and the rest of the body through the dilated cervix, and out through the vagina and the vulva. Finally, the baby is born. Further contractions expel the placenta to complete the placental stage. Oh yes, I'm born. What happens after birth? Interesting. Let's check it out. Newborn babies don't have the ability to control their temperature well, so it's very important that they be kept warm, and newborn babies don't have the ability to control their temperature well, so it's very important that they be kept warm and dry. This is done with an infant warmer. It is a device used to maintain the surrounding temperature around infants. Just after birth, the doctor will cut my umbilical cord to detach me from mom. If my mom's blood type is O or Rh negative, blood is collected from the umbilical cord to identify my blood type, or else I'll be at a risk of hemolytic anemia, a type of anemia caused by red blood cells being destroyed faster than they are created. Oh my God, I'm glad I didn't have that. The doctor may do some suction through baby's mouth if necessary, so that the baby may breathe properly. Finally, few minutes after birth, the doctor will evaluate my heart rate, breathing, muscle tone, reflex response, and color. This is called APGAR assessment. Sound of happiness ringing all around. Now my mom will breastfeed me, and usually it starts a few minutes after my birth. Now I Lola signing off. Hope you liked this video. Now please subscribe to the channel 1234 Media Bio, to watch more amazing videos. See you soon.